We're back at you at the Gentleman's Show here. Josh and Joe. We're going to show you guys how to swap out an old pressure tank that's operating on a well system that's supplying this house with nasty, brown, dirty, smelly water. We're going to show you guys how to have clean water that you can shower, drink, and live a life of happiness in. By installing this here big boy pressure tank, this is a 55 gallon, along with the sediment filter that'll go before, and the salt system, the water softener that will clean your water up and provide you with a nice smelling, tasting water. So me and Joe are going to get to work here. Follow along as we teach you how to do it.
Alright, first thing we got to do is get rid of the old piping they have. This is old, nasty, galvanized pipe. This is not what we want here. They have a PVC coupling here. That is not what that should be. We're going to get rid of all of this and pipe it in the correct way. Here you have your pressure switch. This tells the well when to turn on and when to turn off. First start by removing the cap. Here we started by turning the power off at the breaker for the well pump. We also tested with an electrical tester to ensure that no power was coming to the well pump prior to beginning.
Alright guys, now that we got that taken apart, we got the electrical disconnected, we turned it off at the main breaker beforehand. We also checked for power before taking it apart just to double check. Now we got that disassembled and out of our way. Now we can get rid of this old pressure switch and we'll get rid of this old tank. Sometimes it's good to have a torch on hand for stubborn joints. What you want to do is you want to loosen up the most outer part of the joint. So the female threaded end of whatever part that you're taking off, you want to heat that up so it expands off of whatever it is that you're on.
This pipe was so corroded we could not get it up. We tried heat, which did not work. We ended up using the Salsa, cutting the fitting. Alternatively, you could have cut the copper and resoldered the male fitting on, but we chose the later as we did not have a lot of pipe to run.
Alright guys, now that we finally got that stubborn fitting off that I had to cut in half, where is she? Yeah, there's half of it right there. Had to cut her in half to get it off. That's corrosion there. Now that we finally got that piece off, we'll connect to this copper with a brass fitting, which is a backflow valve. This makes it so that water can only flow this way through as the pump pumps it in, but cannot backflow back towards the pump, causing it to lose pressure.
So it's directional and all of them have an arrow indicating which way the flow should go.
Which is right there, flowing this way. And then directly after that, we'll get a shut-off valve on.
Blue Monster sealant.
we'll have our pressure gauge. In these two larger holes towards the bottom, we will have a faucet. And we will also have a pressure relief valve.
This is where you test your well water.
Correct. The faucet that goes on here is where they test the well water. It's not supposed to have threads. We'll go ahead and hook up our pressure tank, which is over here. We got a nice new state of the art. You know what I mean? Water pressure tank for a well, put an actual union there for, you know, easy repairs and whatnot. This will help this go together a lot easier in the future if you ever need to repair something.
Alright guys, here's the finished product. We have our valve before the filter. We ended up using 1-inch PEX piping, that is the white stuff you see there, going into the water softener. Coming out of the water softener, it runs to 3/4 PEX piping, and that will run to your water heater and eventually to all your fixtures. We put a valve after the water softener so you can shut off there, and there it is running to the water heater. We also used all the fittings you see are brass PEX fittings. So there it is, the finished product. We have the water pressure tank, the water filter, and the water softener.